know it's 8 o'clock in the morning on an Arizona June, so I'll keep this brief. So, quoting the irreverent poet Will Ferrell, let's do this. First, I'd like to welcome some special guests. Mayor Christian Price, Vice Mayor Vincent Manfredi, Councilmember Rich Vidiello, Councilmember Nancy Smith, Councilmember Bob Marsh, former Mayor Anthony Smith, our City Manager Rick Horst, Casa Grande Councilmember Herman, Ak-Chin Indian Community Chairman Robert Miguel, Senior Project Manager from Sunland Asphalt Kevin Fisher, and ESP Group Engineering Project Manager Elijah Williams. So I'd like to invite some of our special guests up here to speak. I'd just like to remind you that the mic stands, like me, is a bit sensitive, so be careful. So I'd like to invite Mayor Christian Price.
Thanks, Luis. Appreciate it. So, this is a great day, clearly. Just like most of our groundbreakings, we either pick the coldest day or the hottest days of the year. So this is obviously no different, but we were very excited about this project. I want to mitigate some expectations a little bit in the fact that this is just the beginning, right? This is a long project. There's a long way to go. There's a lot of miles between us and Casa Grande and getting to the I-10. And so this is the very start. But, you've heard the old adage, right? A journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. So that's what we're taking. Certainly want to thank the Ak-Chin and the Ak-Chin chairman for all the things that they have done to help us with this project. Again, this is like a lot of the things we do here in Maricopa, where we cross multiple jurisdictions, sometimes counties, sometimes different city limits, nation limits, etc. So, we can't do this if we don't partner together. But this is going to be an absolutely key and critical project for us as a city as we continue to expand. Look, at the end of the day, folks, the growth is coming. It doesn't matter which way you slice it. There's land here, there's opportunity here, and with Ak-Chin and City of Maricopa working in partnership, there's a lot of great things ahead, from tourism and just people visiting to the fact that people love what they find and love what they see when they come here. And so this is one of those major steps that's been in the works for a very long time. Trying to get this off the ground and fund it is obviously always a challenge, but with this comes the knowledge that this is in preparation and understanding that more people will locate here, more people will come here, more businesses are on their way, and this is the first step in getting that transactional ability to move the people and goods and services from the City of Maricopa to the I-10, to Casa Grande and back and forth, allow Ak-Chin to be able to communicate and commute where they need to go, etc. And so this is a great day, and we're certainly appreciative that it's here. Again, we have a long way to go. We have a lot of funding we still have to develop, and so I don't want you to think that here in a year and a half it's all going to be done, but the first step will be, and that's what we're working towards. So again, I hope this is something that the people can see and feel and touch, and that they can understand that their dollars are going towards something that is profitable to them, and that will help their businesses and their commutes and everything else. So again, this is the first step, and we're very appreciative for it, and all the folks who, the engineering, the planning, the funding, and all the things that have gone into it. So again, many thanks, and we're very excited for the coming years, and this is going to be a great addition to the Maricopa area. So thank you very much.
All right, please welcome Vincent, Vice Mayor Vincent Manfredi.
What's that? I know.
Is this the hottest day of the year yet? The only day that was worse than this in terms of heat for a groundbreaking or ribbon cutting, I remember, was the overpass. And that was hilarious how it was so hot and it was just waiting to get out of there so bad, but nobody wanted to leave because it was one of the greatest achievements in the City of Maricopa's small history. But this right here is a huge achievement. Being able to create a new and different way out of town is what people ask for. Number one is, when are we fixing the 347? And then, when are we gonna get another road outside of town? So this right here gives us that ability to get people moving outside the City of Maricopa. None of this is possible, and Christian won't tout his own horn, so I'll do a little bit for him. None of this is possible without the hard work that we put together over the last 10 years that he's been our mayor, where he's been pushing throughout the region and throughout the state for improvements to the city of Maricopa and our transportation. It's great that he's found a new position within the state, but within the city that's going to allow him to continue that push. But none of it happens without the insight and the foresight from our staff, and down from our city manager all the way through our entire staff for the city of Maricopa that puts this together. Those are the people that deserve thanks. We get up here and we talk as political talking heads, right? That's our role. We get up here, we smile, we wave, but it's the staff, it's the people behind the scenes, it's the people digging. It's those folks that make all of this happen. So I want to thank all of them, because without you, none of it is possible. So hopefully within the next year, I think it's 13 months, we'll get this part of it done, and we'll have somebody up here from Casa Grande talking a little bit about how then they take over this whole project, and then they'll push it further. And then of course Pinal County, and then having people here that understand the need for transportation is really important. I'm going to get out of the sun for a little bit. Thanks.
Please welcome Councilmember Rich Vitiello.
Normally I'm last, so I didn't get to thank everybody before me, but everybody here today that has put into this goes way, way back to Kelly Anderson, Tony Smith, not only as our mayor, but also as our supervisor, who has pushed for a lot of these projects. So I want to thank Pinal County for doing what they do. Of course, the mayor, Nancy, Bob, prior council members. We've all got together over the last 10 years to make things happen. First, it was the overpass, #1 big project. Obviously, that took 15 years. Then you're talking about other things like this, and you're also talking about the new library, and you're also talking about the new police station. We could just keep going on and on about all these achievements in this young city's history, and putting together a past and present council that sees the vision of what's going on here in the city of Maricopa, all together with staff. Can't do it without staff. Can't do it without a great city manager. Can't do it without great council members. Great partners like Ak Chin. Robert is a big supporter of all that we do here in the city. So we need to continue pushing for these things. Yes, there is going to be some pain. There's going to be pain when we widen 347, open up Smith-Yankee a little bit more, open this up. Yes, there is pain, but there's going to be a big profit that's going to come along with it. So I want to thank everybody who's ever been involved with any of these projects. Thank you for what you do, because here as my 4 years here in council is a smidgen of what has done before. Prior council members, prior mayors, thank you for what you do, because as there is one goal, one team together. So thank you, enjoy this, and God bless us.
Please welcome Councilmember Nancy Smith.
Hello, and thank you all for being here. It is hot out here, but I can tell you something, one thing more important than what the temperature is, it's hot in Maricopa. It's getting hotter all the time. This is the place to be for sure. I wanted to tell you a little story, going a little bit back further than some of my colleagues have, because I had a conversation with Tony Smith, who was the mayor in 2010. So 12 years ago, he and Brent Billingsley had their first conversation on the east-west corridor, which we're now today calling the Sonoran Desert Parkway. So 12 years ago, think about that. In terms of the length of time that it takes to get to this groundbreaking point, 12 years from the first conversation that Tony had with Brent Billingsley. And we were sharing this story about the excitement of today with our family over the weekend, and our 4-year-old granddaughter said to us, "Papi and Nene, when I'm able to drive, can I drive my unicorn on your new road?" And we just giggled and laughed, because it was just so insightful that she understood what the value of a new road was, and she wanted to drive on it with her unicorn. Well, think about that in terms of the inspiration, the imagination that it took to put this road on the map and to have that conversation 12 or more years ago. It takes great imagination. In fact, I was talking with the city manager this morning, and he said, can you imagine Maricopa going south? I mean, just imagine in 12 years when my daughter is 16, my granddaughter is 16 and able to drive, what is this going to look like out here on the south side of Maricopa? It's going to be fascinating. But I tell you what, it's going to take that imagination that Tony and Brent Billingsley and other mayors and other city councils have had. It's going to take the mayors going forward, the city council going forward, to have that same imagination to understand what roads are we going to need, just like this Parkway, to make Maricopa movable and desirable for the citizens that live here. It takes great imagination, and I'm glad to be a part of that. Thank you for being here.
Please welcome Councilmember Bob Marsh.
You know, when you talk to somebody from Chandler, and tell them you're from Maricopa, they mumble something about one road in and one road out. Well, with this Sonoran Parkway, we're going to have a second way to get to I-10, and the joke will change. I have some personal impact from this parkway. I'm on a county board, and once a month I have to make the trek over to Florence. When this road is done, it's going to shave 10 minutes off that time. Also, my wife reminded me we have some friends in Florence that we never see except on Facebook, because it's so hard to get back and forth between here and there. This will change. This will change that. So anyway, congratulations to all of us on this giant step forward, and let's hope we get a third way sometime.
Please welcome Casa Grande Councilmember Matt Herman.
Thank you. On behalf of the mayor and city of Casa Grande, thank you for having us here today. It's an exciting time. You know, as someone who's Arizona native, and my grandma lived in Maricopa when I was growing up, so I'm very familiar with the Casa Grande Maricopa Highway, as I drove it this morning as well. So I can't say how exciting this is to have a new mode of transportation in between our cities. As the two biggest cities in Western Pinal County, it's so important that we have that connectivity between us. We all know, especially you guys in Maricopa, know how important infrastructure is for the future of our communities. And us working together, bringing employees back and forth between our two communities, and just opening up this side of the county speaks so well for our future. And we couldn't do it without the cooperation of our cities, our county, our native nations here to us from Ak-Chin. We're so excited to get this going. And as Vice Mayor Manfredi told me not so subtly, now it's Casa Grande's turn to get on, to get on that end and get it going. And I will take that message back, because we can't do it soon enough. Also, I was going to say that I'm so glad the Sonoran Desert Parkway name came up, because East-West Corridor just isn't very romantic sounding between our two cities. So Tony, good job on that. You guys started this vision a long time ago. But again, on behalf of the city of Casa Grande, thank you for kicking this off. Get us going on the right way in this side of the county. And I remember back in 2003, I'm good friends with Edward Farrell. When this city was incorporated, was nothing, what came out of the one stop sign I used to go to visit my grandma by the Maricopa Mercantile. And now it's just fantastic to see what you guys have done here. And we're proud to call you neighbors, and glad we can work together with all this transportation. And Mayor Price, all the work you've done, I mean, you're an inspiration to all of us. So thank you very much, and good luck. Thank you.
Please welcome Ak-Chin Community Chairman Robert Miguel.
Thank you, everybody, for inviting the Ak-Chin Indian community. As you know, we are family together, so obviously we're going to be here. But for the past, as Maricopa has continued to grow from its beginning to today, we've always here in Ak-Chin wondered when we were going to start to develop in our area. or this parkway is going to allow us to go and bring stuff to the south side of Maricopa on the other side of the tracks. So we're excited about, you know, this growth, the opportunity for this road to come through. And where does it go to? Right directly to that beautiful place right there. You can see. So, you know, again, you know, there's some, you know, overall just great relationship between the two communities overall. We grew up together. We've suffered together. We've grown together, whether it was a good thing or a bad thing. But overall, I mean, you see nothing but great opportunity overall for our family. And when I say family, I'm talking Ogden and Maricopa. So, you know, we're excited, and I'm Mayor Price and council and the citizens of Maricopa. You know, I grew up here when there was nothing, and I'm here today and seeing things I probably thought I'd never see in my lifetime. And we thank you for those opportunities, because it means so much for us as we continue to grow together as a community. You know, we're very strong together, and as Mayor Price knows, we're Ogden Indian community is always going to advocate and support any way possible to continue to grow in our efforts overall. In DC, while the 347 was being decided upon, I always made it a priority to go and advocate for 347 and that Tiger grant when I was in meeting with our constituents and our state representatives. So it wasn't on my agenda, but I spent the last 10 minutes at every visit pushing that grant, letting them know how much we support it and how much we need it overall. So I'm not going to say Ogden was the reason why you got it, but again, we did say what we needed to do, and it went through, and we were so excited, we were happy, because again, it was not only that Maricopa that received the Tiger grant, we received it. So again, excited for this to go through. We're looking forward to growth on this side of the tracks, and you know, the city of Maricopa is going to be, I believe, in due time, the #1 city in the state of Arizona to come and do what you need to do. So again, thank you, Maricopa, and congratulations. Mayor Price, I'm going to hate to see you go in position, but I know you'll be the council will be in good hands overall. So we continue to want to work with the city of Maricopa as we continue to move forward. So again, thank you.
All right, please welcome Senior Project Manager from Sunland Asphalt, Kevin Fisher.
Really just want to say thanks to everyone involved in this project. On behalf of Sunland, we really appreciate you giving us the opportunity to build a successful project here. This is going to be great. We've been working on this for going close to a year. Finally going to hopefully start next Monday. So we are really excited. I'm sure just listening to all you, how excited all you were that have been working on this. Sounds like some of you 10+ years. So it's really great. We take that into heart when we build this. So, I mean, we're building it for not just the community, but everyone involved. Really excited. We hope this is a partnership that moves forward as Sonoran Parkway works its way to Casa. We hope to be involved with the project all the way to the end. So, thank you.
And finally, Engineering Project Manager for ESP Group, Elijah Williams.
I'm just going to do this. Well, it's a pleasure to be with you. My name's Elijah Williams with EPS Group. I wish I had ESP. That would be really cool, but I don't. I'm with EPS Group, and I'm pleased to be here. You know, this is the third one of these I've had the opportunity to do here in the city of Maricopa, and I've had the opportunity to be part of the one at Edison Road and then the 347 overpass, and I am just grateful to once again be here with Mayor Christian Price. I just want to thank you for your leadership over all these years in these transportation projects. You know, they don't just happen by chance. And I was here 10 years ago when Brent Billingsley and Mayor Smith were first lining this out. That was part of the design we went through, and I'm just grateful to be part of it. You know, if you were somebody who didn't know much about this project, you might look at it and say, well, you're building a brand new road through a bunch of vacant land here, so pretty simple, straightforward, right? To which I would say, yeah, it was simple and straightforward. except for the intersection where we had to connect over at 347. You know, that's ADOT's right-of-way. We also were impacting the entrance to the Auction Indian Community Casino. We had to go through permitting processes with ADOT and with the Auction to make sure that the improvements that we made there would actually work. We had to produce traffic studies and cultural resource studies and all kinds of things to make sure that it would work right. Which that same person might say, well, okay, I understand that, the intersection. But then once you got out past the intersection coming this way, it was pretty straightforward. To which I would say, sure. Except for immediately adjacent to 347, there's a FEMA designated floodplain that we had to cross, and we had to demonstrate to the Pinal County Flood Control District and to FEMA that we weren't adversely affecting that floodplain with our road. To which the same person might say, well, okay, you know, but then you're out in the farm fields, right? And then it gets relatively straightforward, which I would say, sure. Except for running diagonally through those farm fields, and the farm fields want to irrigate east to west primarily, and we're disrupting the whole irrigation system. We have to make sure that after we build this road that all that irrigation system is put back in place, which required us to regrade some of the farm fields, replace the irrigation system. And of course these lands are owned by development interests, and we had to make sure that as we run diagonally across their property that it worked with their future development plans. To which the same person would say, well, okay, by the time you get to Farrell Road, it's pretty straightforward. That's an existing road, right? You just kind of run down it, to which I would say, sure, it was, you know, relatively straightforward, except for all the power lines that we needed to relocate, and the gas lines and the water lines. And of course, you have the Maricopa-Stanfield Irrigation and Drainage District lateral canal that runs right along it, inside of a U.S. Federal Bureau of Reclamation right-of-way, which meant that we not only had to get the approval of the irrigation district, but also the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation had to approve everything that we did, which meant that we had to go through various environmental processes with them and studies and use certain materials so that we could build this project through that federal land right-of-way. To which someone would say, well, okay, but once you get east of there, you're out of the farm fields, you're outside of the irrigation district canal, and then it gets straightforward, to which I'd say, sure, it gets relatively straightforward, except for we have a major drainage that comes through there. And there was also an archaeological site that was discovered right in the middle of the roadway, which we had to hire a bunch of archaeologists to come out and do their excavations and clear the whole site so that we could move forward with the construction to the approval of the Arizona State Museum. To which they'd say, well, okay, but then you get over towards Porter Road and things get straightforward, and I would say, yeah, it does, it really does. But we're building a first of its kind Arizona Parkway. This has never been done before in the state of Arizona. And as we terminate the road over there at Porter Road into our arterial street, we have some really weird geometry that happens there. We have to make sure that all of this Arizona Parkway geometry works well for now and for the future. And of course they would say, well, Porter Road, it's already there. You're just building the road, you're widening the road at Porter Road, which I'd say, sure, except for we had to build a bridge over the Santa Rosa Wash, and that again is a FEMA designated floodway, but it also happens to be the jurisdiction of Maricopa County, or Maricopa Flood Control District, excuse me, and the Pinal County Flood Control District, and we had to demonstrate to both of them that we weren't adversely affecting that floodway, which meant that we had to excavate the channel down, and we had to put erosion protection in it, because you see the erosion that happens down there from time to time. And we had to anticipate that channel for not only what it is today, but also in the future when it's supposed to be lowered. We had to plan this bridge for both conditions. And we had to plan the bridge so that people can get out of the neighborhood there, the Santa Rosa Springs, and be able to allow the contractor to build it half at a time if necessary, or look for a detour. And we also had to relocate a major water line and connect it to the bridge, which meant we had to get approval from the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality before we could go ahead and move forward with that. To which someone might say, well, okay, but then you're past the bridge, you're north, it's straightforward, you're just going up and connecting it in. And I say, well, yeah, except for there's not very much right-of-way up there, and there were a bunch of utilities in the way, and we still had to make drainage work, which means we had to build a new storm drain system and connect it down to the Santa Rosa Wash, which again required permitting from the Pinal County Flood Control District and Maricopa Flood Control District. To which someone might say, well, okay, well then it gets relatively straightforward. And I'd say, yeah, it does, because there's nothing left to do, and that's the end of the job. And it does get relatively straightforward. You know, any of these projects, they always seem simple, but they really aren't. There's a lot of complexities associated with them, and I've been grateful for the City of Maricopa staff, their veteran leadership, to help us get through this process. There's a lot of hands that need to go into this, and I'm particularly grateful for the City of Maricopa's project manager, Ross Renner, and his steady hand throughout this process and guiding us to the completion of the design portion of this project. And I'm excited now at this point to pass the baton to the skilled contractors at Sonoran Construction and look forward to a successful construction project.
Well, all right, everyone, it's time for our main event. So I'd like to invite all of our council members and special guests to come on up, grab a hard hat, pick up a shovel, and let's turn some dirt.
As a project manager, I really appreciate that.
Well, everyone, that concludes our festivities for the morning. Thank you all for attending. Have a great day.